Hello?
Oh my god, did you hear?
Oh, I'm itching to tell you something.
Itching to Tell You with Zoe Ryan.
Today I'm itching to tell you about my story. My name's Zoe, I'm 24 years old and I have an autoimmune condition called psoriasis. I always knew that there was a stigma around psoriasis in Ireland and that there was this shame and embarrassment that came with it, but I never truly understood the true extent of that stigma until I was filming Searching for a Cure. So my dad also has psoriasis and I don't even think he got a choice in the matter. I was like, okay, I'm interviewing people who have psoriasis as part of my documentary series, and I don't even think I asked him when to do it. I think I told my dad, okay, so we're coming down this weekend, myself and a crew, and we're going to do an interview with you. It was when I did that interview with my dad, I realised that two people who should ideally be able to tell each other anything, a parent and their child, a father and his daughter, lived under the same roof for years and never once talked about a shared condition that they had because they were so ashamed and so embarrassed that they felt like they couldn't talk about it. You know, we just had such similar interests when I was growing up, and myself and my dad were always really close. But it's as if from that time when I got psoriasis and then my dad got psoriasis shortly after me, it's as if our condition became like a barrier for us. You know, and I was so blinded by the embarrassment and the shame of it that I didn't think to myself, you know, there's someone right there who understands what it's like. For so many years, I felt so alone in my condition, like I was the only person who had it. When really, someone who understood exactly what it was like to live every day with this condition was right there. But because we were so embarrassed, neither of us would talk about it. Like, it was at such an extent that, you know, I could come home from college at the weekend and if he mentioned my psoriasis, I was like, don't talk about it, don't ask me about it. Yeah, it's fine, it's completely grand, let's stop talking about it. Because I wasn't interested in talking about it. You know, it never occurred to me that talking about it and actually admitting to yourself how it affects you might be therapeutic. No. Very Irish of us, the two of us being like, it's fine, don't talk about it, it's grand. If we say nothing about it, it'll just go away. So for years we didn't talk about it. I remember the day that I was interviewing my dad, even though someone was sitting in front of me, my own father was sitting in front of me, talking about a condition that I too had, was saying how he felt about it, how he experienced the world with it, even though I was agreeing because I understood completely. And I too had experienced those thoughts and those encounters with other people. You were still that little bit removed from it. And it was only afterwards that it hit me, that I kind of stood outside from the interview room. And it's as if, so did you ever feel sometimes that someone says something and you won't hear it first straight away, but if you just stop before saying what? It's as if what they've said comes back into your head and you hear it again. And I stood outside kind of nearly like in a daze. And I went to myself, did I actually just hear that? Did he actually just say that? And you know, it's one thing for you to experience something yourself. If you see someone that you love, that you care about, in pain, it's a completely different hurt. You know, I had lived with psoriasis for so many years, and I knew how horrible it was to live with it. But when my dad, someone who you respect and you look up to so much, you know, your dad is always someone that you think can't be hurt, that they're like indestructible and that the world just can't hurt them. And for them to sit in front of you and tell you how hard it is to live with a debilitating life condition. It's horrible. And I remember feeling this anger, you know, when I realised that that was the first time that myself and my dad had ever spoken about how living with psoriasis, what it was like and how it affected us. I just thought there's something wrong with that, you know, and it angered me. I was really angry that we lived in a country and in a world that didn't accept our condition. And because it's not widely known about, it's not widely seen in society or in the media, people don't know about it, they don't accept it, they don't talk about it. Throughout searching for a cure, when I was interviewing my dad and I was interviewing other people who had psoriasis, and I heard about their stories and how they had been treated and how they felt about living with psoriasis, it angered me. It really did. I felt like there was this injustice done to the psoriasis community, that we weren't heard, we weren't recognised. And it was from doing that interview with my dad and realising the true extent of that stigma, and realising that that was the first time that he and I had ever spoken about our condition together, I said, no, this has to stop. Something has to change here. And that's when I decided that I wanted to do something about the stigma in Ireland, and that I wanted to do something to try and break down that stigma. And that's when I got the idea to do a platform like this. I found that I started to more openly talk to people about psoriasis, that kind of that first time you were terrified, but it was a case of, I had to say to myself, just normalise it in your own vocabulary, telling people I have a condition called psoriasis, and be open to them asking questions. Don't be embarrassed or ashamed. Like, that's my whole point. I want to raise awareness for the condition. I know that there is a lack of understanding of the condition out there, so if people ask me a question, I wanted to be able to answer it. So as part of me doing the documentary series, and now as part of me wanting to launch this online platform, I've done an awful lot of research into it, and I've spoken to a lot of medical professionals about it. And of course, I live every single day with the condition, so I feel like I can talk about it. So it was just a case of getting into the swing of talking about it. So I started doing research into looking for the psoriasis community online, and I found so many online platforms where people try to do exactly what I want to do, which is raise awareness for the condition and share their story. I was in awe at some people, you know. I found it so therapeutic myself, even being able to read other people's stories, because it made me feel less alone. And I found real comfort in discovering this online community of people with psoriasis. But what I noticed was that there was a lack of an Irish perspective. And that's when I kind of got the idea to create this online platform. I said to myself, I would love to see someone talking about an Irish perspective, you know, talking about what it's like to live with psoriasis in Ireland. From reading other people's stories and from interviewing people who so bravely spoke about their journey with psoriasis, I wanted to do that as well. I wanted to kickstart it off by revealing my story to people. You know, I really wanted to come clean and to confess to people that for years I have had this condition and I've been hiding it from all of you, but I'm ready now to stop hiding, because I think it's important that I stop hiding. You know, even though there are days where I don't show my psoriasis, like right now, my psoriasis is concealed. It's covered with foundation and concealer and makeup. My hair is positioned in a way that you can't see my bald patches. I'm wearing long sleeves so you can't see the psoriasis on my arms. I'm willing to go out there to erase this image that people have of me. And I think that it came to a shock to a lot of people that I actually don't look like this under it all. On the 29th of October 2020, World Psoriasis Day, I decided that I wanted to write a post on Instagram, put it on my own personal Instagram, to kind of come clean to my followers, my arguably closest friends and family, that I have the condition and that for years I've been hiding it from them. And I thought that was the best place to start. I wanted to share images of my psoriasis. And for me, that was a really big step, because if you look at my personal Instagram, I had done a very good job over the years of there's no traces of psoriasis at all on it. I very cleverly was able to hide it, whether that be by cropping. I'm known for, if I have a selfie, that I'll crop the top of my head off so that people won't be able to see that part that's really obviously has psoriasis on it. I conceal it with makeup. I might wear hats. I'll wear long sleeves like this, or I might wear trousers or tights to cover the psoriasis on my legs, even up to positioning. Like, there is an image on my Instagram of me in a bathing suit, and it's all about positioning. I was very cleverly positioned in a way that no one can see the psoriasis on the back of my leg or on the arm that I've cleverly posed. The way my hair is positioned, no one would be able to see it then. So I really did a good job at hiding my psoriasis on my social medias up until that stage, so no one would have had a clue unless I had told them. And at that stage, I had started telling more people about my condition, but I said, this is it. This is like ripping the band-aid off, ripping the plaster off, just tell everyone. But I remember going into that day, it took me so long to compose the post, and I had the photos ready to go. And I was terrified. I was afraid that because people were so used to seeing me and knowing and accepting me as the person that I present to them and not how I really look, I was afraid that people would see the real side of me and that they wouldn't see me in the same way anymore. They might see it and go, I don't want to be seeing that type of stuff on my Instagram feed. So yeah, it was difficult for me that day to post about it, but it was something I wanted to do and something I knew I needed to do. But the response that I got to me admitting that I had psoriasis and coming clean about it was just so unexpected. I couldn't believe the response that I got. So many people reached out to me either on private messages or commenting on the post saying that, they thought it was so brave and such a good thing for me to do, to share my story and to be raising awareness for the condition. But the most surprising ones was the people who I'd known for years, people who I'd even worked with in close proximity, were contacting me saying, I never knew you had this condition, I have it as well. And that was the last push I needed to do this, to start this online platform to raise awareness for the condition, was for the people closest to me to see how they reacted to it, how they accepted me. What Itching to Tell You aims to do is to start a conversation around psoriasis in Ireland, to raise awareness and to spread better knowledge about psoriasis so that it gets to a stage where more people are talking about it, more people are seeing it, and it's just normalised. And I hope to do that by sharing my experiences and the information that I've discovered about psoriasis with you. And what I plan to do is that every week on my online platform, I'm going to be taking a topic about living with psoriasis. It could be anything from a treatment for psoriasis or just general everyday things of how I live with psoriasis, or maybe my opinion on certain things. And so I'm going to be taking a topic a week, and throughout that week I'm going to be releasing different information about that topic, and I hope that from that people will develop a greater understanding of their condition, and more importantly accept their condition and learn what is the best way for you to live with your psoriasis. Because for me, that's what has made such a difference in how I live with psoriasis every day. It's understanding my condition more, finding out the treatments and the way of lifestyle that suits my psoriasis, that allows me to live better with it. Thank you so much for listening to my story, and I hope that from me telling my story, it gives you a better idea of why I want to start this online platform and what the online platform aims to do and what to expect from it.
Till next week. For more information on this topic, check out Itching to Tell You on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and tune in weekly for new episodes. Like, comment and subscribe.